Hello and welcome everyone. I'm Bob German and I'm pleased to introduce Kate Everitt, who is a principal product manager working on a new unified store for Outlook add-ins and extended Teams apps. Hi Kate, thanks for joining.
Hi, Bob. Thanks for having me.
So this seems really interesting and I'm familiar with the different store experiences that we have today. So what's changing and why are we making the change?
Yeah, I want to start with a little bit of background into why we're doing this and what the goals of our project are. So, overall, we have a fragmented ecosystem for apps in Microsoft 365, and this impacts developers, admins, and end users. And this project's really for all three of these audiences. For developers, it's about increasing their app reach without any additional effort. For admins, it's about having one place where they can manage apps across Microsoft products. But what I want to about with you today is the experience for Outlook customers. We want the adding, managing, and removing of apps to be similar across all of our products. Customers can learn it once and use it anywhere. This will increase confidence when they're using apps. And like really, if you're using it, you'll know where to find it and feel in control.
So what's the main thing that's changing for end users?
The experiences that customers are going to notice are the apps are now available on the left-hand side alongside the other Outlook modules, and then our new flyout and our new store that I'm going to show you in a minute. If people have used apps before, they should seem familiar because we're using the same UI as we have in other clients, such as Teams. Where we're making space for these new element types to come in and kind of room to celebrate them. And we're hoping that by making it easier to develop and deploy apps, we'll see more of them. And we'll need a way for customers to manage them that scales. Right now, items are always pinned to the ribbon, but there's limited room there with all the other functions that we have.
Sure, yeah. I know what you mean.
One of the things I want to talk about is what it's going to take to get this consistency. So we're going to have to rationalize product decisions that were made between different products like Team and Outlook. Right now, we don't have that consistent story that we're looking for across the major M365 products. Like one example is pinning. So all add-ins are pinned in the ribbon in Outlook for Windows, but users can choose which add-ins are pinned in Outlook for Web. And then both users and admins have the option to pin and unpin extensions in Teams. For end users, we really want to avoid moving things too quickly. We don't want that like, where's my cheese moment where someone is looking to use an app and just can't find it. So your existing web add-ins shouldn't feel that different, but they'll also be available in this new flyout. Overall, we're really trying to just get that balance right of getting to that final experience that's consistent and supports app scale while making sure that users are still able to succeed at each step of the way.
Well, that makes a lot of sense. You mentioned a new store as well.
Right, of course. We're also introducing a modernized store that's consistent with Teams and the Microsoft 365 app. We're excited about the store as the store experience hasn't had a refresh in a little while. For the end user, what we really want is you to think of an app as an app, and we don't want them to have to know what kind of app you're using and have to go around to different stores searching for them. So this store is the place where the customer can find and install all different kinds of apps.
It sounds like a great idea. Can you show me what it looks like?
Sure, happy to show you a demo. All right, so what you see here is, of course, Outlook for Web. And on the left, you can see the app modules, mail, calendar, and then down here, some apps. And we have our entry point to the flyout right here. And then the second flyout over here in the read experience has different apps. And then the third place that you can find it is Compose here up in the top of the ribbon. And you can see that there's very different apps in each place. And the reason for that is that the apps are contextual. So they're only going to show up where they can be used. So one example to think about is like if you have a report message that doesn't really make sense in Compose, it's something that you would do on something that you're reading. But for apps like weather that actually generate content, and put it in the Compose surface, it really only makes sense to do that in Compose. You can't make changes to a read environment. So that's why they're different.
So why the flyouts instead of just showing the apps right on the screen?
Yeah, so one of the reasons that we have a flyout, I mentioned before that we had apps pinned, and that's really good for a few apps that are frequently used, but we wanted to make sure that there was space for more apps and that we actually had room to celebrate and have an enhanced experience around it. The second reason that we have it is just this consistent experience. So this is the same flyout that you're going to see in Teams and in other places. And we want people to have this familiar experience for using and running apps so that you can launch them in the same way across all of the Microsoft 365 clients.
So how do you get to the store?
All right, if you were watching
apps.
closely, in the bottom of each flyout is this Add Apps button. So we have it up here and we have it in this flyout. And that's our entry point to the store. So the store is going to contain all kinds of apps. We needed a place that wasn't just for add-ins, that wasn't just for apps that were generated in Teams, but that we could fit them all together. And so you can find and install every kind in this larger store. I'm actually going to show you how it works. So I'm going to install Mural. I'll go ahead and add that. So after it adds, you get a confirmation dialog that lets you know which context it's available in. So Mural can be used anywhere in Outlook, which means from here, and then while composing emails. So let's go try it out. Here it is. And what this will do is it'll bring up a template. Now I don't have it logged in right now, but I can drop content from Mural directly into my Compose surface. Now let's say that I did that by accident, or I decided I don't want it anymore. I can go ahead and uninstall it right from the flyout.
It seems really easy. I like it. So what are you going to do next? Is there a call to action?
Yes. So this work is about creating that consistent experiences of app and making space for all the different kinds of apps to have one surface across all the M365 products. And so we're rolling it out. And our next step is really, we want to hear from you. We're going to listen to the customer feedback signals and the telemetry to make sure that we're making good decisions going forward and moving at a pace that can help customers do what they want to do today and be successful, but get us to that shared place. If you want to provide feedback, we welcome that. There's that smiley face, which is at the top corner of some surfaces, or you can find feedback also at the bottom of the help pane in other versions of our product. And we really just want to hear from you about these changes, how they're working for you, and make sure that we are creating a place inside the clients for the new kinds of apps that we're allowing.
Well, it makes a lot of sense. I'm really excited to see this happening. Thanks so much for joining today and making this video. I'm sure it's going to be really useful for people.
Yeah, thank you.